investigator with Yale's Bioethics Center and been involved with healthcare. My name is Jerome Medalie, and I'll give a moment for you to exclude me. Thank you. I want to thank you for a very illuminating and candid talk on some of the problems of healthcare. I want to ask you this: how do you incentivize the medical profession to cooperate with you with policy changes which adversely affect some of the financial aspects of healthcare? I'd like to give one example. Last year, in a 595-page report, the National Institute of Health talked about how we die in America, and it roundly castigated the profession for unwanted and unnecessary treatment, among other things, enormous waste. I'm familiar with the fact that end-of-life care is a major healthcare cost, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, 25% of the healthcare cost occurs in the last 6 months of life. Yet, when proposals are made around this country to give patients choice as to whether they want treatment or whether they would like aid in dying because they are incurable and they find their suffering intolerable, the American Medical Association and every one of its state satellite groups appears in opposition to that effort, which happens to be led by a national, well-respected organization, Compassionate Choices. The only capitulation we've had recently is in California. On May 5th, where the California Medical Association changed its opposition and adopted a neutral position. Every time a statute has been suggested, which is called physician aid in dying normally, the medical associations have uniformly protested giving patients a choice as to how much suffering they want at the end of life. So how do we incentivize the profession to cooperate with policy changes? Thank you very much.
When you say the profession, I see faces. My daughter, one doctor, really wants to do well. I'm seeing the faces of the physicians, nurses, and pharmacists that I meet when I go around the country, around the world. We have a workforce of people really trying to help under extremely difficult circumstances now that are demoralizing them and making them disconnect from purpose. I'm not saying the guilds aren't lobbyists, they are, they're unions, that's all. So we live with that. But I have a very deep conviction in the compass, the social compass, the ethical compass of the professionals among us. Not perfect, but no worse than we are. And I think that we are not appealing to the morality, to the latent intrinsic will they have to be the healers they want to be. We get in their way. We do it through these regimes of enforcement and scrutiny and cynicism that become self-reinforcing. So my overall answer is we need to get into a different position as professionals, leading ourselves, and as communities trying to work with professionals. And I see the examples, I can list them. I have them in my mind of when we go to that level, people say, yeah, that's really why I'm here. The fights won't end, but the professionals are kind of with us if we get to them the right way, right? That's what I have. That's a different question about big medical institutions. I don't know the pharma question, the insurance companies, large